Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for the whole of 2011. Now, this is looking at the movements of the outer planets, really, that set the stage for the inner planets, which are the subject of the monthly forecasts over the year. First of all, Mercury retrograde period, some of you may want to know that, starting March 30th to April the 23rd, then August the 2nd to August the 26th, and then November the 23rd to December the 13th. Astrologically speaking, Libra, there's a lot of planetary action already affecting your sign, and in 2011 there's going to be more when Jupiter and Uranus enter your opposite sign. So it's not going to be dull there. It's going to be very interesting, I think, in the area of close relationships. In 2010, as far as the Jupiter cycle was concerned, you were expanding your knowledge through health issues, those providing a service for you, those for whom you were providing a service, learning about health, maybe remedies and so on, health and well-being. Also learning new skills, that could have been another thing. Jupiter is a teacher planet, so it was all about learning in that area there. Training, that would have been a good thing for you to have been doing, and still will be at the time that this is put out, actually, because Jupiter doesn't change signs until January the 23rd, 2011. Now, when Jupiter does go into Aries on that date, and will be there until June the 5th, that's going to be opposing your sun sign. That's going to be Jupiter in Aries, and that's going to be a real growth spurt for you in close relationships. So if you're looking, this would be a good time to cast your nets wide, Libra. You're likely to import somebody into your life who is very different from you, somebody that you wouldn't have seen yourself with, but somebody who is enthralling and interesting and very, very interested in you as well, and sees you as being very different. And you two could, really expand each other's worlds. Also, you could be opening up to new fields of interest, and be thinking along very different lines with colleagues, business type partners, teachers, a sort of teacher-student relationship, either you as the teacher, you as the student, and you'll definitely be entertaining new possibilities, and feeling more optimistic, getting a broader perspective on things. The expansive, benevolent influence of Jupiter will encourage you to new depths of understanding and appreciation, and definitely put you in some very unfamiliar environments, though, but will help you flourish, through one-to-one working or love-type, romantic-type relationships. From June 5th, then, Jupiter moves into an area which could be lucrative for you, Libra. It will help joint finances, will allow you to tap into a resource of some kind which is being supplied by another. This will expand your world, their contribution to you, whether that comes through money, equipment, moral support, or all of them. It's definitely going to expand your world. It's going to make you feel more emotionally secure and at peace and happy inside. It could be that money or possessions becomes more readily available just for you to tap into there via somebody else, you see. So through a key relationship. Also, good time for advice, expert advice, confidential advice, and somebody to lean on, and also for somebody to lean on you maybe as well, because at that time I think you're going to feel stronger inside and more able to allow others to lean on you. Now, there's going to be 4 solar eclipses in 2011. The first one, January the 4th in Capricorn. If it makes a contact with an important natal point, then that is going to open the way for positive change to come into the area to do with your domestic setup, your domestic relationships, family relationships, neighborhood relationships, property matters, and you can take the initiative in minor or major ways there. And, for many months you should be steadily building towards the future in a step-by-step manner on these very sort of basic foundation levels of your life, the material foundation, but also the emotional foundation. Because you need that support as a launch pad into bigger, better, brighter things. Saturn continues its transit of your sign, Libra, until the autumn of 2012, which means that you're in a new cycle of having to work harder, finishing off things from the past, perhaps in some cases cutting your losses and moving on, and in others patiently and persistently just plugging away there to bring your past endeavors, past decisions to a successful conclusion. This is the 29-year Saturn cycle in which you're redefining yourself, the role you play, restructuring your world, but in gradual stages. And if you're old enough, well, look back 28 or 29 years, because you're going to get the gist of what's unfolding now, because then you were in a parallel part, you know, at the same part of the cycle all the way back then. So that can be quite an eye-opener if you do that. Of course, you're older and wiser now, and you're making more considered decisions. But you'll know that this is a time of perseverance when new things are unfolding, and you've got to be more responsible at this time, and more concentrated and more consistent with your effort, putting effort into the areas which ultimately lead to a more successful and happily settled version of yourself. So this is the time for you to be aiding and abetting the building of those new structures within yourself, your self-reliance, your emotional self-reliance, but also forming the armature externally, which allows a bigger, not necessarily bigger, but a brighter, better world to sort of flourish around this armature. And those Librans born from 3rd of October onwards are going to feel the influence of Saturn most strongly at certain times throughout 2011. And also you Libra rising people from about 9 degrees onwards. As January unfolds, Jupiter-Uranus is going to trigger a growing sense of clarity, January and February really, because they're very close together that whole time. Clarity, you know, ideas, playing with ideas, hypothesizing, getting a stronger evidence of progress, feeling progress, start to sort of shift and move within you with your long-term hopes and dreams. May not be huge leaps forwards, but especially for those born between October the 9th and the 12th, you may have to work harder at jumping through a few Saturnian hoops. Could come in the form of concern for family members, or to do with property, which is kind of feels like it's holding you back, or the home-based, or things to do with the past holding you back. However, this is a lovely energy. It could be an inspiring coming together of ideas, factors, people, places, which is going to encourage you to think, you know, a little bit bigger there about things. Uranus is going to be transiting your opposite sign, Aries, for many years, starting from March the 12th, and you will be transforming yourself in many different ways. You and a partner, or you because of a partner. You know, like a light switching on and off, you may have to refocus your eyes more than once, because at times things will be happening kind of quite fast, quite quickly. Librans born in the first week of the sign, approximately September 22nd to September 28th, you're going to feel this energy the most potently in 2011, when things could be quite, sort of feel like a bit of a whirlwind happening every now and again. Now, the life-changing effect of Pluto is coming across your sign from Capricorn. It will be doing that for many long years, and meaning that your choices should be coming from a deeper place. This is a deeply regenerative energy, but in the process you're going to have to let go of some old ideas, old relationships, old scenarios. And Librans born in the first 10 days of the sign are going to feel this energy most strongly over 2011. Jupiter aspects Pluto from February the 17th to March the 3rd, which indicates you could become super enthusiastic about getting going with something, starting something, renewing, rehabilitating, renovating. You want to get the ball rolling on something there. But just before you throw yourself into that 1,000%, make sure that what you believe is absolutely your own truth and not somebody else's version. Jupiter opposes Saturn March the 25th to April the 2nd, a time of conflicting energies when you can be successful, but you should be cautious when you are expanding into new areas. Take the long view there when making decisions. Be aware of what's going on and maybe in the bigger world, but you'll be having to strike a balance there between somebody else's needs and requirements and ideas and your own needs and requirements and ideas. Jupiter trines Pluto July the 1st to the 14th and October the 16th to November the 3rd. This is a very good influence which can help improve the financial picture, help you make wise use of assets or knowledge or contacts. If lessons are heeded, about you making those choices from deeper levels, you following your gut instinct and agreeing with yourself about who and what and where you truly want to be and the role you truly wish to be playing in the lives of others in the future. Looking at it from that point of view, what do I need in my life to be able to function as the more true-to-life version of the real me? And this can also be a time when there can be professional success, or you gain some kind of positive recognition from others. So that seems to be good. Uranus will be in challenging aspect to Pluto July the 8th to August the 16th. This is a recurring aspect in our skies, and it's going to go well on into 2015. It really gets into gear from about June 2012. This aspect is sudden event territory, and it's going to affect us all, not just you, Libra. It's potentially life-changing. It comes in sort of waves of sudden acceleration of activity, triggering Pluto, Uranus triggering Pluto into, a patch of really fast change, which is unexpected. It can, be related to the bigger wheels around us, even the weather. So the advice is to prepare for this in advance by having a plan B, and that's starting from now. This energy may suddenly, come along, radically clearing the decks from the past. That can be old ideas from the past. This is a significant time in history when much of what has traditionally been taken for granted economically, culturally, socially will be subject to deep and transformative change. At times, even though things may be happening fast, try not to, just stay calm and make decisions from a centered sort of a place. Get interested in anything which is kind of alternative and kind of cutting edge, and you'll probably benefit from that. You get out ahead of the rest there. However, if there are factors within you holding you back, and this may manifest as a bad case of indecision in the light of what has always spelled security for you, then this transit is going to trigger events which just throw off the shackles of the past, whether you like it or not, so that you surrender to the next stage of growth. There's another solar eclipse, second solar eclipse on June the 1st in Gemini. Again, if the eclipse degree makes contacts with natal points, then this is going to open the way for you to be exploring bigger horizons. Travel could be coming in there for you. Education, higher education, academic interest. You as the teacher and the mentor and the guide. You finding a good teacher, mentor, guide. You being very interested in an unusual environment and rubbing shoulders with very different types of people. So that's actually, an interesting looking time there. Connect with that special person, connect with that special place there. The third solar eclipse is in Cancer. That's on July the 1st. Again, if it makes connections with your natal chart, this is going to be a time for you to take the initiative to make new beginnings in a major or minor way, about, you know, your profession, your career, your general life direction. And this could be centering around certain significant relationships in your life. The fourth solar eclipse in Sagittarius on November the 25th, that's going to highlight the communication sector for those of you who've got the contact with your natal chart. So you should be getting educated, keeping your ears to the ground, networking, making new connections with others, you know, a lot of chatting going on, over the wires as well, media, creative self-expression, buying, selling, promotions, that's all coming in there very strongly. And also the two lunar eclipses, the one on December the 10th, and the first one on June the 15th, and the other one December the 10th. They're going to be triggering new beginnings, fresh starts in those areas as well. In 2011, Mars will stay for a lengthy period in Virgo from November the 11th to July the 2012. And that is a time for you to be getting more into stuff like yoga, meditation, the arts, working from behind the scenes, spirituality, healing, taking more time out for self-nurturing activities, but also you being there as a support and a facilitator in some way for another, you know, kind of pulling the strings from behind the scenes. So it's a position potentially of power, but you in a kind of a low-key background sort of a way. Great time to produce some major work at that time there, because you will have the inclination to kind of tuck yourself away somewhere and get on with something. And also you may be working through subtle energies, some of you, setting things up in a way which allows you to make better choices for yourself or others, manifesting what you want in the future. And that is it for 2011, your overview there. If you know your rising sign, listen to that too. May I wish you a very happy new year. And I will see you the next time.